Welcome back, everyone, to GameZone Birdroom. How's everyone doing? Thank you for joining the GameZone Birdroom and our top 10 favourite racers for the Sega Saturn. Let's bring out my guest, one of my favourite tubers, a massive fan of the Sega Saturn as well, James from Retro Import Gamer.
Evening, everybody. How's it
Konnichiwa.
going? Konnichiwa.
Oh, I've been looking forward to this, James.
Yeah, I've been thinking about this quite a lot actually, and it's created me quite a few problems.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's all right. It's been quite fun. It's just trying to pin it down to 10 and then get your 10 in order of what you think is your favourite. It's quite difficult.
Yeah, I've had. I mean, I haven't been home that long, and I've sort of just gone through them. I think should that one go in place of that? And it's, as you said,
yeah, exactly.
It's a pain in the arse, isn't it?
Yeah, without a doubt. And I think, if I did it again next week, I'd probably pick different ones in different places.
That's very true. Yeah. I think daily it's always different, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's always going to be ones that you're going to have in there, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But, there are some which you think, oh, quite a lot. I've just been playing that recently. I think that's quite good, actually. And you might put that in instead of something else. What you haven't been playing for a while.
We're never happy, are we? We're never happy.
No. It don't matter at the end of the day, does it? It's just a bit of fun.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what this is all about. A bit of fun. Trying to share our top favourite racers. I mean, everyone's got different tastes of what they look for in a racer or a beat 'em up. Whatever that game is, and hopefully we'll have a few interesting titles.
Yeah, I'm quite interested to see, how yours compares with mine, actually.
It'd be funny if they're the same, wouldn't it?
It would, wouldn't it? Yeah. Being as we ain't spoke about what we've put in each other's top 10, it might be quite funny.
Well, there is one game we've decided to take out.
Yeah. The one everybody's going to expect.
Yeah, I mean, because, if it's not the best game on the Saturn, it's literally one of the very best on the Saturn library.
Yeah, without doubt. Well, it's the best for me on the Saturn, full stop.
Yeah, exactly.
It's one of the greatest games ever made.
I'm hoping you've got the game to show, and I'm hoping that I've picked a different one.
Oh, I haven't actually got this game. Hang on. Right, I've got it now.
There we go. Should we show it at the same time?
Right, hang on. Get this earphone back in, if I can. Right, okay. Whenever you're ready.
Right, on three, yeah? One,
okay.
2, 3. Oh, I'm glad you picked a different version.
When you said that, I thought I'll pick probably the one that's least common.
Yeah, there we go. Sega Rally. We are excluding this from the list because it was my favourite game, and yours in it, James.
Yeah, without doubt, it's the best racer on the Saturn. It's the best game on the Saturn, in my opinion.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Yeah, it's my favourite racer and my favourite game. It's a game that I always go back to, even now.
Oh, without doubt, it's still brilliant to this day.
It really is. I mean, it's not just graphic-wise, gameplay. It plays so much like the arcade, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely spot on. I mean, you could argue the graphics might have been a bit nicer, but they're amazing still, I think.
I think it holds up really well. I think it looks better than some of the N64 racers.
Oh God, yeah, without doubt.
I mean, some of them are pretty poor.
They're appalling, some of them. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's streets ahead of them. The less said about some of them, the better.
Definitely. So I've got this bloody cough and cold going about at the moment. So if I laugh too much, I'm gonna cough.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Phil, nice to see you, mate. Thanks for joining.
How you doing?
That's all we've got at the moment, James.
Oh well. We'll see how it goes, eh?
Exactly. So should we just talk a little bit about Sega Rally? Why we love it?
Why not? Yeah, why not? It's just
let's bring it up on the big screen.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, Sega Rally. I mean, it's what can you say? It's just it's perfect Sega. It's just a perfect arcade racer. I mean, it's my number one passion is an arcade racer, especially by Sega. And that was the first time, really, I think, when we got that on the Saturn, that it felt like you were playing the arcade machine at home. Yes, it's not as good as the arcade, but at the time, compared with what we'd had before, it really felt like you were playing the arcade machine. And all these years later, 25, whatever years it is, 30 even, is it? It's nearly 30.
Yeah, it must be about 29, 30 years now, isn't it?
It's getting on for that now. So, but even after all those years, it's still as awesome to play as it was when it first came out in 96, whatever it was. It's just stunning. You can pick it up and you can play it for 5 minutes, or you can play it for 5 hours. You know, you can lose a day playing it. It's just so good. And you can, you know, even if you can like finish first and you get to the end, you can still try and beat your times. You know, it's endless, the fun you can have with it. I think, personally, anyway.
Well, it was groundbreaking as well, wasn't it? With the different tracks, like the tarmac, the mud. What was the other ice? Wasn't it? Like, you know, the snow and that. It was. It was ahead of its time back in the day.
Oh, without doubt. I mean,
and the cars react so different on each of the tracks as well.
On the surfaces, yeah, that's right. But it's just, I mean, there'd been rally games before, obviously, but I don't know. It's just the handling on it. It's perfect in my opinion. It's just, it's easy to play, but it's difficult to kind of be really good at it. You know. You can spend hours trying to perfect techniques and different, you know, lines around corners, and I'm not sure there is a right and a wrong way. You've just got to find out whatever works best for you.
Yeah, I mean, I've only just literally completed. Let's bring both together here. I've only literally just completed that game just very recently, probably about 6 months ago. I mean, that's how hard.
Yeah, I remember you sending me the link when you was getting first on the lakeside.
So it just shows you how difficult that game is still to this day, no matter how much time and effort you put into that game. And the replay value, even though it's got 4 tracks, it's still mind-boggling, really.
Oh yeah, it's brilliant. I mean, that last sort of bonus level, if you like, that lakeside, that is bloody difficult, isn't it?
It's a killer. It really is a killer. It's even worse when you're in the Stratos as well.
Oh God, yeah, the Stratos. Oh, that's a nightmare. I mean, it's quick, but it don't like going round corners.
Oh, it don't. It's such a tough car to handle. I mean, you really feel like you're having a wrestling match with that car.
Oh yeah, it's an animal, isn't it?
But it just gave it a different. It just gave the game a different element as well to it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Once you unlock it.
Yeah. Oh, it's fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough good things about the game, really. It's just brilliant.
Now, as you said, James, it's got Sega's hand written all over it, innit? You know, it's got that great arcade music, that sort of how to describe it, that good. I've really enjoyed the arcade version, the PlayStation Sega Rally. Sadly, they stopped doing it. Yeah, it is. They need to bring it back.
Yeah, it would be amazing if they would bring it back. I mean, Sega, unfortunately, they don't seem to be able to punch their way out of a wet paper bag to me.
No, they're a shadow of their former selves, which is
Yeah,
very sad, unfortunately.
yeah, it's criminal all the old IPs that could be making use of these days, you know.
Mm.
And
Hopefully, we're going to show a good few of them in a minute.
yeah, hopefully. I mean, sad old gits like me and you would lap it up, wouldn't we?
That we would, yeah. I'd definitely buy it straight away.
And I would definitely.
That would make me buy a modern console.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So if one of Sega corporate persons is watching this, get it done.
Get on it. Come on.
They would, but
you never know. Yeah, get it done.
Exactly, get it done.
And while we're at it, let's have Outrun 3 as well while you're at it, if you're listening.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. Oh, is that on the list or I don't know? You have to wait and see.
Well, that's a surprise.
Yeah, Outrun. I mean, Outrun 2 was brilliant. I need to pick that up actually on either PlayStation 2 or Xbox.
Oh God, yeah.
What's it called? Yeah, Outrun 2 Cruise.
Coast to Coast on the PSP and
Coast,
on the PS2 and Xbox, and there's the original one. Just the original Outrun 2s on Xbox as well.
That's it. Yeah, I need to pick both of them games up because they're stunning games. They are.
Oh, they're amazing, mate. Yeah, you need them in your collection.
Right, should we get to the top 10?
Why not? Let's crack on.
Who wants to go first? Shall I go first?
You might as well go first. You're the host.
All right, let's put me on the big screen. No one wants to see me on the big screen, but let's put me up. Oh,
there we go.
Oh dear, bloody hell!
Watch the views rush in now.
Time has not been kind.
Tell me about it.
So for my number 10, I'm picking Drift King 97.
Very nice.
And the reason why is I think it's a bloody brilliant racer. You know, it's not a bad looking one either. You've got three different tracks, all different difficulties. You've got your basic, big, middle, and advanced. And the cars handle really well. And if I'm right, James, was this an early Tokyo Highway game?
Yeah, I think the PAL version is called Highway 2000 or something.
Yeah, so it's part of that collection that came on the Dreamcast, wasn't it?
That's right, Tokyo Highway Battle, yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I love the fact that you start off in the daytime as well, and you go into sort of the midday and that transfer into night and that, which is a nice touch as well.
Yeah, I agree. It looks really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a lovely looking game as well. I mean, there's not so much scenery in that, but you've got like a nice bridge you go over, and it's got nice lighting effects on it. And the cars handle really good. I mean, there's not much choice in tracks and cars, but then this was probably at that time where you expected there to be 3 or 4 tracks.
That's right.
But yeah, I really love this game. Yeah, I go back to it quite a lot actually since I bought it. Actually, I think you sent me a link to this.
I think I might have done actually. Yeah. Shortly after I bought it, I found another one and sent you the link.
Yeah, I think I won it for like £9 or something, £10. Which thank you, mate.
No problem. It's a great game. That is. I'm really quite a fan of that.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, that's why it's my number 10 pick. Yeah, really great game.
Very good indeed. Right. Shall I go for my number 10 then?
Yeah, go on, mate. Yeah.
My number 10 is Hang On GP 95 in this case. The PAL version is 96 just because it came out a year later than this, but I think it's more or less the same game. I don't know if there's a few, any modifications. I don't know. I've never played the PAL version.
That's a game I need to pick up. Actually, I remember you saying a few months back it's a decent game.
Yeah, it's decent. It's not amazing. Don't get me wrong, but at the time when it came out, I really did think it was really good. I was mad into it. Played all the way through it, and absolutely loved it. I mean, obviously they've took the Hang On name from earlier titles, Super Hang On and regular Hang On. But it's it's a polygon sort of style race, more like Daytona, but you're on a motorbike, obviously. But it kind of looks all 3D like Daytona would, or Sega Rally. But it still plays really nicely, and the graphics are still quite nice, I think. I think the biggest sort of downside with it, if you like, is the fact it's a motorbike racer, and motorbikes don't tend to handle as well as a car racer, in my opinion, because you've got the added kind of lean of the bike.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it seemed to work better in the arcades when you've got the actual...
you've got the bike, yeah, exactly.
The bikes.
I don't know, actually, if this works with the wheel. I've never tried it. So that might be worth looking at, actually. I might try that. But it's much like, all the arcade Sega games where, you've got... I think there's 4... Is there 4 tracks? You've got like a novice and a hard version from memory. It's been a long time since I played this, actually. But it's a very similar setup to if it was an arcade machine. And I think there's like I'm sure there's a championship mode on it as well to sort of pad out the content a bit.
Oh, that's nice to have that option.
Yeah, I'm sure that it's got something like that. But it's really not bad at all. And I think it's quite reasonably priced, to be honest. I don't think it's a dear one. So if you're in the market for that kind of thing, it might be worth looking at. If it's, I wouldn't imagine it's more than 20 quid. I've not looked, I don't know, but...
I think I've looked, and from memory, when you told me about the game a few months back, I think that was around about 20, 30 quid.
Yeah, I don't think...
Maybe about 25.
Oh, right, okay. I think it's worth a punt at that, to be honest. It's decent game. It was brilliant back in the day, like I say.
Phil said Isle of Man TT handles well enough. Will that make the list, Phil?
Indeed, will it?
We don't know. We will have to find out. And Gibbs said the Jameses, yes.
Yeah.
2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely have to pick that game up, James. Yeah.
I'd definitely say it's worth a go. I'm
a big fan of the original Mega Drive one, and the original arcade. I mean, there was a good version on Shenmue, actually, in it, when you go to the arcades.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, that's less like Hang On, really. It's Hang On in name, but it's more like a Daytona on a bike kind of thing, if that makes sense.
You can't ask for much more than that.
Well, no, true. Don't get me wrong. It's not Daytona, but it's more like Daytona than it is like Hang On or Super Hang On.
Yeah. There's no Horizon Chase Turbo on Saturn.
That is very true. That's an amazing game. Gordon's right there.
I'm assuming that's a PlayStation game, is it?
Yeah, it's on the PS4 and the Switch. I don't know if it's on the Xbox, but it's a modern game. Yeah, it's actually started on mobile phones. That's where I first played it.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, you can download it on your phone, and it works amazingly well on the phone. To be honest,
I might have to give that a go.
Honestly, mate, it's absolutely a brilliant game.
Well, the graphics won't be like the Sega Saturn, though. Nothing breaks the Sega Saturn graphics.
Oh no, absolutely.
So my 10th is.
You've done that one.
97. I was just saying what my 10th pick was.
Oh right, okay.
And James's is Hang On, is it GP? Is it
GP95 or 6 if you're in the UK.
Right, okay. There we go. Right, now for mine. Oh, my number 9. You got like 2 games in one in this, and I think it's brilliant. You got loads of tracks, championship mode, arcade, 2-player mode. You've got so many options on this game. Yeah, I absolutely love this, and that's Andretti's Racing.
Very good.
Really good. Like you got the choice of Indy cars and the sort of the NASCARs and that.
Yeah.
And as you said, you got like loads of track. I think there's about 16 tracks on this. So you got a full championship mode on both NASCAR and the Indy cars. What more do you want? You've also got like 2-player modes, so you can play with a friend, which is what I enjoyed back in the day. Me and my brother would play this. Can't remember who won. Probably me, with my superior gaming skills. But yeah, fantastic game. I really do like these type of racers. Reminded me a bit. This was the closest you got to Formula One from the PlayStation on the Saturn.
That's right.
I'm assuming this came out on the PlayStation as well.
It did. Yeah, did you?
Yeah, I would have thought so. But yeah, so my number 9 pick, Andretti Racing, great game.
Really decent. Yeah, I agree there. It's a good game, that. Right then. My number 9, funnily enough, is Shitaku Battle 97. So I just got it one place higher than you, James. Yeah, really good. I agree.
I was humming and ahhing actually for that both them games. Which place I should put them?
Yeah, I just like Andretti's good. Don't get me wrong. I like Andretti. It's good. I was close with that, but I just like that Tokyo Highway Battle. I think it looks so nice, and it still looks nice now.
It is a beautiful looking game. It's definitely one of the best looking races on the Saturn.
Without doubt, it's one of the nicest graphics on a racer on the Saturn, and that's what sung it for me. It just looks so nice, and it plays well as well. To be honest, like you said yourself.
Yeah, handling's really, really good. I mean, you go around the corners at sort of pretty high speed, can't you?
Oh yeah. I mean, I do like those highway battle games. They're all decent, to be honest.
I need to pick them up for the Dreamcast. Actually, I mean, number 2, I think, is getting pretty pricey.
Is it? Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But this one on the Saturn in particular, the later ones tend to be sort of at night, so they're always dark. Where that Saturn one, you get the daytime, and it looks more like Sega Blue Skies traditional arcade racer for me. So which is what I particularly like about that one.
Yeah, I go with that. Yeah, that's a good point actually. Yeah, I didn't think of that. I just like the fact that it goes from night to day, like because they're quite long tracks, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, they are long tracks, aren't they? Yeah, like two odd minutes to get round them.
Yeah. I was going to say they're about 2 minutes, so you get that really good night to day effect in it, which I really like.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's really, really good game, that, and not a fortune either, is it? Like you said yourself.
No, I mean that was a brilliant league yourself, mate. I was quite happy to win that.
I'd imagine the PAL versions. Yeah, I'd imagine the PAL version's quite pricey because I'm not sure I've ever even seen it.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I very rarely see it. I mean, I didn't even know it got released on the PAL, actually, to tell you the truth.
I'm sure it's called Highway 2000 Battle or something like that.
That does ring a bell.
I'll Google it.
See, that's the good thing about being on stream. You get the power. You get the power of Google at hand. You tried the second one. I'm waiting patiently for it on console. I'm assuming he's talking about the Horizon Chase Turbo.
Oh, Horizon Chase. Yeah, he must be. No, oh, is he? I don't know. It's not out yet, is he?
No, I mean, it looks like Gordon's waiting patiently for it. So it must be coming out. It must be due out.
Yeah, it must be. I don't know. This ain't loading up. No, I don't know. We'll leave that for another day.
Yeah, so my number 9 pick was Andretti Racing. And James's number 9 pick was Drift King 97.
Was yeah. There we go.
Two great games. Let's get me back on the big screen for my number 8. It's a true I didn't know where to put this actually. This with the other title I've got coming out, I was sort of humming and hawing, but I think I've played the other title a bit more than this one. And this is an all-time classic on the Mega Drive. It started out on the Mega Drive by EA Sports. That probably gives you a bit of a clue. You're on a bike. You can bash people. I'm talking about the one and only Road Rash. I absolutely love this version. This is the first version I've played because I think we discussed this before, mate. That the definitive is on the 3DO, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a classic version. It plays just like the Mega Drive. So you get to bash your opponents with bats, chains. You go through streets and deserts, forests. You know, so you got a good choice of tracks, good choice of vehicles. You get to, especially if you're playing the story mode, you can build your bike up, upgrade it, and that sort of stuff. Which I've always enjoyed them sort of games where you can upgrade your vehicle and make it better and get a lot more out of it. And I mean, graphics. I mean, I know it's quite an early title for the Saturn. It is pretty decent. I mean, they're not. Yeah. It's not 3D graphics. It's like digital sprites, isn't it?
Yeah, kind of. A bit like here, kind of like Mortal Kombat style characters, isn't they?
Yeah. I would say that. Yeah,
digitized. Yeah.
Yeah, digitized sprite sort of pseudo 3D type graphics, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely cracking game.
I agree, it's brilliant.
Could have been higher, but I think I played the other game just a bit more. But yeah. Rush. Absolutely.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's a brilliant game. And I would have had. Well, this is a bit of a spoiler. I would have had that in my top 10, but I don't actually own it for the Saturn. So that's the reason it's not. No, I don't own it for the Saturn. It's one I'd like to pick up actually. But I agree, it's a brilliant game. But being as I've got the 3DO version, I've never picked up the Saturn one. You see.
Oh right, there's no need really if you've got that version, is there?
Well, no, but that said, you know, I would like it on the Saturn just to, you know, because Saturn's a big sort of passion of mine. I would like to pick it up for the Saturn if I can. So it's definitely on my list to get that.
I don't think it's too expensive either.
But funnily enough, when we started talking about this, I did look on CEX. It's 30 quid.
Oh, that's not bad actually, is it?
It's not too bad. So yeah, I'll wait till I get one in local to one of the ones by me, and I'll see if it's in good nick.
Nice, yeah, it's definitely worth picking up, mate.
Oh yeah, brilliant game. I love it. Right, what number are we at now? 7, aren't we?
8, isn't it? Yeah, 8.
8. Yeah, that's right. Sorry. Okay, so my number 8. I did struggle with this. I've got very mixed feelings about this game. My number 8 is Daytona, the Championship Circuit Edition.
Oh, that's interesting.
Obviously, the original Daytona, a lot of people sort of criticised how it looked. So Sega, in their wisdom, decided to sort of revamp it and then bring it out a bit later on in this guise. And they did fix the issues of, you know, how it looked a bit rough. This one does look lovely. But unfortunately, they messed up the handling. And it just doesn't play like Daytona should play, in my opinion. So although it, you know, it looks amazing, it don't play as good as the original version they brought out to start with, for me. But that said, there is more content in this one. You know, you've got more sort of cars and tracks and everything. You know, they have boosted it and made it better in many ways. I don't know if it was you, James, who said to me, you got to think about this as not as a Daytona game. And then you...
That's exactly what I said. That's when I play it, I enjoy it because I don't think of it as a Daytona game because it does play so different from the original.
That's right. Which is, I think, is a great way to look at it, and I think you're right. You've got to look at it in that sort of perspective, and then that does make the game better than perhaps it once did, because I was looking at it when it first came out as, well, this doesn't play like Daytona, so I sort of cast it aside a bit for that reason. But in more recent years... Well, yeah.
Back in the day, so you should.
Yeah, that was how I felt.
We're a bit older and wiser, well.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but...
Well, older anyway. But yeah, in more recent years, I've grown to sort of appreciate it a bit more than I perhaps did when it came out. And so, although it's not as good as it might have been, you know, because if they'd just fixed the graphics and put the content in and left the handling the same, this would have been probably number one on the system for me.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But as it is, it's still a good game. You've just got to approach it from the fact that it doesn't play like Daytona, really. But it's still a great game. And it, to be fair, it is a bit better with the analog pad.
Did they release one that you could go online with? Which I think played a bit more, especially the Japanese version. I'm sure it plays a bit more like the original. I think I'm sure they've done like.
Oh, actually, it has got the net sign on there.
That might be the one that they released that plays.
So maybe
a bit more like the original.
Because is this the one where I can't remember now? Is this the one where it came out? Or am I getting mixed up with Sega Rally? One game came out PAL first, and it had a few issues, and they fixed them for when the Japanese version came out. I don't know if
I believe that could be the one.
Maybe
because they also added. I'm sure they added like a night mode in the Japanese version as well, where you can.
I can't remember. But it is better with the analog pad anyway. And I'd assume the wheel. I've not tried it with the wheel actually.
Great pick though. I mean, as you said, if you think of it not as a Sega, a Daytona game, it is brilliant. It is a brilliant game. Who else is? We've got Dabs in the chat. You all right, mate?
How you doing, Daz?
No chat. Sega Rally, 32-bit.
Definitely.
So again, my number 8 pick was Road Rash,
and mine was Daytona CCU.
Well, we haven't had the same pick yet, which is quite remarkable.
We were close with Highway Battle.
Yeah, we were.
Not quite.
As I said, I was humming and hawing of having that as number 9 or 10, really.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a last-minute toss-up, basically. So, number 7 for me is Destruction Derby.
Ooh,
now,
okay.
I know PlayStation 1 is it's better looking. It does play better, but I only ever had it for the Sega Saturn. I absolutely love this game. I love the loads of options at the time with this game, with the what's it called? The battle arena.
The bowl thing.
Yeah, the bowl thing, which I absolutely love. To see how long you could last.
Yeah.
Bash your car right up. You've got like 40 cars on screen. It was mental. Then you've got your championship mode and your arcade mode. So a good selection keeps you busy for ages. And a nice selection of tracks as well. I think there was about 6 tracks on this game at the time.
Yeah,
good. Which playability makes you come back. And I still play this game now. I still boot it up. But yeah, it's not the best looking game anymore.
I don't think it's awful. It's not too bad.
No, it's not. I think a lot of the stick came from when the car's smoking
Yeah, yeah.
and
The
they're sprites.
transparencies.
Yeah, they're not transparent. They're actual sprites, and it does look pretty bad, really. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I think if you look on the background, I think they used the PlayStation pictures.
Oh, they might well have done, yeah.
we're forgive them for that. But yeah, this really is a fantastic game. I love the fact that, I mean, I think this could have been one of the first games where you could really see a lot of damage to your car.
Yeah, yeah. It was
And, and
revolutionary at the time, wasn't it? It was nothing like that before.
no, definitely. And number two was even better on the
Yeah.
PS2. I absolutely loved number two. But yeah, since I didn't have number two for a long. I mean, look, the original price is on there from Woolworths.
39.99, yeah.
Yeah,
Is that your original copy then, James?
it is. Yeah, this is the original copy from
Oh, nice.
my dad bought me for me. I think it was my birthday
Oh, that's awesome.
from Woolworths. Yeah, I absolutely love this game. I've kept it in pretty decent nick as well, so it's still all complete.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's brilliant to have your original stuff like that.
So yeah, the Destruction Derby, fantastic game. Yeah, probably not the greatest racer on the Saturn now, but more nostalgia.
Yeah. No,
Reasons.
it's a good pick, that. Right. My number 7. We've got Virtua Racing.
Oh, brilliant! Absolutely brilliant.
Now, when this came out, I think this came out American first, I believe, from memory. And it was actually, although it was an American game, it was multi-region. You could play it in anything.
Oh, could you?
Yeah, honestly, I'm sure I haven't dreamt that. I might have done. I might have done, but I don't think I have. But yeah, I was a massive fan of the arcade machine Virtua Racing. Obviously, it had been on the Mega Drive before, so I was quite keen to get the Saturn version when it came out, because I thought, well, this should be amazing. It must, surely be like the arcade version rather
Should
than
be
the cut
literally
down.
arcade perfect.
Yeah, that's what I was expecting. And there's a bit of a similar scenario, really, to the Daytona CCE, in the fact that it looks brilliant, but it don't really play like Virtua Racing. Graphically, it's still great. It looks brilliant. It's almost as good as the arcade, I'd say, looks-wise.
Probably actually better, actually, with the shading, because it's got
Yeah.
shadow effects as well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it looks really, really nice. It's just the handling isn't quite the same. It's a lot more twitchy and fast-moving than the arcade and the original one was. But that said, you do get used to it after a time, and then it becomes a really, really good game. And there are lots of there's extra cars and tracks than the original arcade version. And again, I'm pretty sure you've got a championship mode on it as well.
Yeah, you have. Yeah.
To boost the content. So, although it's not exactly like the arcade to play, it's still a damn good game once you get used to the different style controls. And like I say, it's a real nice looking game.
Yeah, because they added a lot of tracks as well. I remember being like 10 tracks on that.
Yeah, there's
compared
quite a few.
to what I had on the Mega Drive.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's quite a few.
That jump up from the Mega Drive to the Saturn version, yeah, it was. I was lost. I was bloody hell. How many tracks we got in here? Was it five different cars? Or vehicles?
Something like that. Yeah, yeah. And it's just it's a great looking game. I think ironically, the 32X version is the best version. Up until they released it on the Switch, the 32X version is mega.
That handles. I mean, that was actually Sega AM2 who ported that, didn't they? They actually ported the 32X.
That is just like the arcade to play. I mean, don't look quite as good, but it's a damn fine game.
Yeah. Virtual Racing would have been on my list just due to the fact that I've got so much nostalgia for the Mega Drive version.
Yeah.
But every time I do play it, it just doesn't. It just doesn't feel right to me.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate that totally.
Nice to see it on the top 10 because it definitely does deserve it. So yeah, my number 7 pick was Destruction Derby.
And mine was Virtual Racing.
So we're getting to the sort of near halfway point. I think this is where we could probably have some of the same games, I reckon, James.
Yeah, we must have. Surely we must have.
So what did they say? I was a bit disappointed with the Saturn VR racing bit, but in hindsight, it wasn't so bad. Wish Sega made it though. Yeah, they gave it Time Warner, which
Time Warner, that's right. Yeah,
it
would have been better if Sega had made it.
Not too sure why. Was it because they had different projects going on at that point?
Maybe they thought it was an older game and people would be less interested in it. I don't know, really.
Yeah, it's a shame that Sega didn't have it.
It is really.
Now, this probably would be higher up for me, but it's due to the fact that it is on the 3-in-1 game, which is Sega Ages.
Oh, right, okay.
Outrun. Probably, if I had a Japanese version, it probably would be slightly higher, but due to the fact that this is the PAL and it only plays in 30 frames per second, it does spoil it a little bit. But this is still a fantastic version. I mean, if you only got a power system, still get this game.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what more can you say about Outrun? I mean, it is just Sega all over it. That blue sky, that's the nice, what was it called, Splash or something, the tune in it?
Splash Wave.
Splash Waves, what a tune. Having that while you're going through the seaside and you got your hot bird next to you.
Absolutely.
It's just a fantastic game, and yeah, this would be higher if I had a Japanese version. So yeah, it's number 6 for me. Well, I can't say more about that one. It's an absolute classic.
Oh, it's brilliant, and that pack you've got there, James, that's unbelievable value. I mean, that's 3 brilliant games.
Yeah, not only have you got Outrun, you've got Space Harrier and Afterburner too. So yeah, loads of hours of entertainment with this package.
Yeah, it's a brilliant pack, that is.
Yeah, so I can't really say more about Outrun. It's just an absolute classic.
Right, what's this, number 6, isn't it? So, my number 6 is F1 Live. It's called F1 Challenge, I think, on the PAL version. I think.
Yes, it is. Yeah, F1 Challenge. Yeah.
At the top, going back to when that came out, it just blew me away. The graphics, that was stunning. It just looked so amazing. Back in the day, I was a big fan of Super Monaco GP in the arcades, and then obviously you got the Mega Drive version that came out, on the home consoles, and it just was such a pale comparison with the arcade Super Monaco GP.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah, I was quite disappointed with that game.
Yeah, I loved it at the time, but it was nothing like the arcade was. So when that came out on the Saturn, I thought, wow, finally I've got Super Monaco GP, because the graphics on it are stunning. And to be honest, I fired that up this morning just to have a blast on it to see where I wanted to put it in the top 10, and it still looks awesome.
It is a beautiful game. Yeah. That Drift and Sega Rally are probably the 3 best looking races on the system. Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and it plays really well as well. And the engine noises are just spot on for F1 cars. The sound like on it is fantastic. It plays really well.
They done really well on the old V10 engine, didn't they? That noise.
Oh, yeah, it's really good. I think the one negative you could sort of voice against it was that there's very few tracks, unfortunately. I think there's 5 altogether. If they'd put like a full season of tracks on it, like 16 tracks or something, that would have been epic. Because, that's the one thing that's lacking really, is sort of variety in tracks. But if you compare it with like an arcade game, like Sega Rally. Well, there's only 4 tracks on that, so in that sense, it's very similar. You know.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I can't remember now. Is it 5?
There's 5. Yeah, there's 3 like proper F1 tracks, and there's like a Sega owned track, and there's a long and a short version of it. I think.
That's it. Yeah.
But
not,
it's
not
stunning
bad
game.
for an arcade game, was it? 5 tracks.
No, it's not bad at all, and it plays very arcadey. You know, you can pick it up and play it straight away. You haven't got to learn how to handle, control the handling. It's pick up and play, no problem. Absolutely brilliant, and it's like fully licensed. It's got the proper cars on, proper drivers. Brilliant game, and I think it's cheap as well. You know, for the money, that's.
Yeah, it's not much. Yeah, it's not much. Both the PAL and the Japanese version actually, they're both fairly cheap.
Yeah, must-owns, I'd say, for the money. To be honest, that game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, what a pick. So yeah, my number. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so my number, the 6th pick, Sega Ages Outrun.
And mine was F1 Challenge.
Let's see what some of the guys have said. Gibbs is hoping to see some Wipeout love. Ooh, you have to wait and see, mate. Always felt the steering on Destruction Army was on. Remember trying to get the grip. Yeah, they definitely sorted it out for the second one, the steering. It was slightly weird, but I just love the game. It's just such great fun back in the day.
I think it was the crash mechanics on it what made it stand out, wasn't it?
I think it was, it was, as you said, it was something different. You didn't really see cars crashed. I mean, you saw Daytona where it would flip over and be a little bit dented and that, but
it really affected the handling and everything, didn't it, and the performance of the car?
Yeah, everything about it with the crashing. I actually loved that game. It's loads of fun back in the day. Wipeout, I got on most systems. Saturn version was a bit, agree there. Yeah, it's definitely PlayStation was definitely its home.
Yeah.
Love me some Wipeout, playing it in VR. I bet that's fucking brilliant playing that in VR.
Probably can't imagine what that's like in VR. Yeah, I'd be sick if I played that.
Couple of old geezers, haven't we?
Too old for this game.
Really like. But was that on like the Fit? The Fit, was it? Wipeout
on the Vita. Yeah, I've never played on a Vita.
No, it's like the PSP, isn't it? Is that that's the handheld? Yeah,
a more modern PSP. Yeah.
Gonna be lurking, totally engrossed in ghosts. Oh, nice. Keep us running in the background though, mate.
Yeah, have fun.
Much appreciated. So, my number, we're at the halfway point now. So my number 5, mate, is actually Formula 1 live information. Now, if I only had the PAL version, mate, it probably would have been slightly lower down. But I know I can't understand the commentary on the Japanese version. It's just brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And you've got the little screen in the corner where you see cars that crash out like in the thing, and they keep you up to date with it. I think that was just like an outstanding little feature on this game. I think back in the day,
without doubt, it's a cracking game.
A lot more. It really is. I've got a lot more appreciation for it now than I did back then when I brought it.
Yeah.
Only due to the fact that my brother had Formula 1 for the PlayStation. Was it called F1 or Formula 1? I can't remember.
Formula 1, yeah.
Yeah, and that game really was outstanding.
Oh, it was at the time. It was brilliant, yeah.
Yeah, it really was outstanding back then. And I brought this thinking I was going to get the Saturn version of it.
Right. Yeah, it's not the same at all, is it? Yeah.
No, it's not. But playing it now, I actually really do love this game. The handling. I mean, there's just enough simulation in the game where you got to retire. Do your tires, refuel, just to make it, interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
And graphics. I mean, you've already mentioned it, James. Graphically, it's just a stunning game.
Yeah, it is a stunner, isn't it? Yeah. Was the Did you have the PAL version originally, James?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I bought the PAL version after seeing my brother on his Formula One game. So I
Oh,
looked
right.
it up, and yeah, I think I bought that from probably Woolworths or one of the
Yeah,
shops. Yeah, and I
yeah.
think that might even have the sticker on it. Actually, I don't know if that's original. Bear
Is
with
that?
me. No, it's not. No, it's
Oh,
one
right.
I must have mine I must have rebrought. But yeah, I was back in. I was disappointed. Played it a few times and I thought, it's not as good.
Yeah. Did that
Which is
take
a
the
bit.
commentary out of the PAL version then?
They did, mate. Yeah, and it didn't even have no music. You only got the engine sound.
Oh, it's a shame, isn't it? Because the commentary
Yeah,
really adds to it, doesn't it, on the Jap version?
it, oh, it really does. I mean, I can't understand a word. I just sort of make it up in my head, like
Yeah,
in like old Murray Walker's voice.
that's right. Just occasionally you'll
Oh,
hear a
golly,
driver's name, won't you?
crash
Yeah. You just get all the Japanese language and all of a sudden he'll say Schumacher or Hill or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, you can just sort of picture what he's sort of saying. I think it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Good
No,
memories of the chat and
he's
comments.
right there.
There we go, Daz. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, mate.
Yeah, he's right. Spot on that game. Right, so what we on number 5, aren't we?
Yeah, number 5.
So my number 5 is Manx TT Superbike.
Whoa, what a game!
So obviously a Sega arcade game, converted to the Saturn. And it was one of the later ones, wasn't it? It was after Daytona and Sega Rally.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Um,
Is it 97? I want to
is
say.
it? I was going to say 97. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I can't read it in this light. Yeah, I'm sure it was 97 now. But yeah, conversion of an arcade game. There was a lot of anticipation for me waiting for it to come out. I don't know if that came out PAL first. I've got in my mind. I could be wrong.
Well, it might have done.
I wouldn't like to say, but I seem to remember having the PAL version first and then getting a Jap one at a later date for some reason. But yeah, it's another lovely looking game. Typical Sega arcade race, really bright colours, lovely, just perfect Sega blue skies again. Again, there's not much content in it really because you've only got 2 tracks. So there's even less content than other stuff like Daytona really. But that said, it's still a cracking game. The handling's a bit more. You've got the old motorbike problem again, like you mentioned before. It's probably better in the arcade because you've got the actual motorbike to sit on. But it still plays really well. Again, I was playing that this morning, thinking, "Oh yeah, this is really good still." Cracking game, really nice. And again, that's dirt cheap, isn't it? That's one of the cheapest games you can buy.
Oh, it is for PAL. I don't know for Japanese. Is it pretty cheap for the Japanese version? Isn't it?
I'm not. Well, I don't know actually. To be fair, I was on about the PAL really, but
Yeah, for PAL. Yeah, you're looking probably what £10-15 most.
at the most, I'd have thought, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's obviously based on the Isle of Man TT races. Obviously, that's where the inspirations come from, and it is quite fun. I noticed today when I was playing it, you get little sort of things that they've based in the game that are actually from the Isle of Man TT course, which I've never noticed before because I wasn't into sort of actual TT racing when I played that back in the day, but over recent years I've started watching it, and I've noticed things in that game. And you think, oh yeah, that's on the course, that is. So I thought that was quite a nice touch.
They sort of based. I did wonder if they did sort of based it on the actual proper track.
Yeah, there's certainly elements you think, oh yeah, this is like the course. So that was quite interesting today when I went back to replay it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
That's a nice little.
really good game.
Oh, it is fantastic. I mean, it can be a little bit twitchy at times, but yeah, it's great. I could imagine that playing better with the analog. I'm assuming that's compatible with the analog.
I would assume so. I've not tried it, to be honest. Oh, it is, yeah, because it's on the back of the box.
No, it's not. Yeah, I thought it would be, where it's sort of a
Yeah,
later game.
yeah. I would imagine that's. I should have tried that actually. I might try that tomorrow.
Yeah, I was brilliant, brilliant. What a pick. So yeah, for my number 5, the halfway Formula One live information.
And mine was Manx TT. It's a nice box as well. I think I like the cover on the Japanese one actually.
Yeah, the cover is nice. Actually, for my number 4 pick, James, is
Oh,
Manx TT.
well done.
I really don't know what to add, mate, other than, it is a cracking game. 2-player games, me and my dad, and so many cracking battles. Really, really close, literally right on the line. I remember him crashing. Well, he used to say I was crashing into him. I used to blame him crashing into me. Yeah, so much nostalgia and fun for this game. Also, luckily I got to play it in the arcades with the actual bike as well, which is a brilliant feeling.
Yeah.
Really is good when you're leaning really low down on it. It's just, I can't add much more than what you've already said, James. It's just a cracking game, and graphically, with Sega producing it is a beautiful title as well. Yeah. They've done a great job.
It is a nice looking game.
Yeah, can't add much more than what you already said, but I think you've done a better job there than me.
Oh well, cheers. Thanks very much. Right, what are we on to now? Number 4, isn't it?
Yeah, number 4. Yeah.
Okay, my number 4 is Chase HQ, also featuring SCI. There we go. Try and get the light right.
Yeah. Oh, very nice.
So yeah, Chase HQ. I'm talking about Chase HQ more than SCI, really. I mean, nothing wrong with SCI, but Chase HQ is the one for me. Obviously, it was quite an old game at the time when it came out on the Saturn. I mean, I'm probably 10 years old, I would imagine. Because I think it was around the same time as Outrun in the arcades, 86 maybe.
Super Scalar, isn't it?
Yeah. But it's a Taito game, not a Sega game, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'd never really had a decent version at home. I think the Spectrum version was probably the best version you could play at home. Up to that point. You got it on the Master System, obviously, but I mean, I don't think it's all right, but it's a shadow of the Spectrum version, in my opinion. But then when it came out on the Saturn, well, wow, it was like playing the arcade version at home. That really was like the coin-op in your Saturn. Stunning looking game, obviously. Even today, I think it still looks awesome. Classic arcade gameplay, chasing bad guys, ramming into them, blowing their car up. What more could you want while driving a Porsche?
You can't beat that, can you?
You can't beat that. What more do you want in life?
No, I mean, them games do age very well, don't they?
I think so. They're timeless in my
that cartoony style artwork in it. It's ageless, really.
Yeah, it is absolutely timeless, and it's much like that Horizon Chase that Gordon was talking about. That's, you could have believed that was like an 80s arcade game. It's that kind of feel to it. And that's just what Chase HQ is. It's just pure arcade fun, and it's an awesome conversion on the Saturn. The best version you can get in the home, in my opinion.
Yeah, I need to try and pick that out. That's one of the few races that I need to add to the section.
It's awesome, mate. Unfortunately, it's quite expensive now, that is, but obviously there are ways and means, aren't there, these days?
Yeah. Good old reproduction.
Absolutely. Can't beat them.
So let's bring us both back. So now my number 4 pick, or number 4 pick, was Manx TT.
And mine was Chase HQ.
It's nice to see that we've got slightly different games as well.
Yeah, we've been close on 3 now, haven't we? And we've had different ones as well.
We have been very close. So what did Dad say? Only ever once seen Manx TT coin op. I'd read a preview in Edge magazine years back. It's a very good bike. Right, happy to have it in that one today. Yeah, it is a cracking
Yeah.
racer. It's
Yeah,
really
I've
good.
never played the coin-op, actually.
Better than Red Line Racer, that's for sure.
Oh,
I've
God,
never played that.
that's a turd. That's awful. That's on the Dreamcast. It's bloody awful.
Oh, that's unfortunate because Dreamcast has got some great races as well.
Oh, it has, yeah, but that's awful. Honestly, it's terrible.
If you want, James, we'll have to do another one of these, but with Dreamcast races.
Yeah, 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 good idea.
Why not? So my number again. This was a tricky one because these last three games, any other day I could pick them in probably different orders any other day, but I've tried to think scientifically, approach this scientifically, and this next one is a reproduction game because this is pretty pricey now. And it's a bit in the lines of Daytona and Ridge Racer, basically, and that is GT24.
Oh, I was waiting for that one.
This really, I mean, I think you mentioned this to me, James.
I might have done. Possibly, I can't remember. I might have
Yeah,
done.
I'm sure you.
I could have done because I was definitely chasing that around the same time you bought it.
Yeah, and you know what? I fell in love with this game. I mean, it's not a bad looker either for the Saturn.
No, it's quite good.
Like Daytona, I mean, it is pretty bare basic. You've got 3 tracks, and there's a choice of, I believe, if I remember correctly, 6 cars.
Yeah,
And it is based on an arcade game.
that's right. Yeah.
Who done this game now? Jellicoe.
Jellicoe, that's right. Yeah.
And they actually use the Sega Model 2 arcade board. They must have licensed it out from Sega. So it plays very much like an actual Sega game. It's got the blue skies. It's got some terrific sort of upbeat music in it. The track layout is really, really good as well. And each of the 6 cars, I believe there's 6 cars. I might be making that up. They do feel very different. So you got your Ferrari, you got like a sort of like a McLaren type car in there, Porsche. So you got a nice little selection, and obviously where it is an arcade based game, you do get some nice sort of side, like on the side of the tracks, like sort of Ferris wheel, very sort of Daytona stuff. So you got some nice sightseeing stuff to see as well in this game. But yeah, it's brilliant. You've got a 24-hour mode as well, which you can play 2 players, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
Don't know if you've ever tried that, James.
I haven't tried that, no.
I've had 2 joypads in the actual games because you can only play it with 2 joypads. So I've sort of swapped over.
Oh, okay.
So I can imagine it being really good with. I've got Billy no mate, so.
Yeah, I'm the same. So that would be good if you got a mate, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So as soon as you get your car fueled up. Yeah, so the 24-hour mode is brilliant, and again, it's got that nice day and night cycle.
That's right.
Which I really like. So yeah, it's based on the 24-hour race from what's it called? Le
Mans.
Is it Le Mans?
Le Mans. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Le Mans. So it's basically based on that. And yeah, this is terrific race. I mean, some of the does control a bit weird sometimes, especially when you're cornering. But
yeah,
a lot of fun.
Agree with that.
A lot of fun to be out there.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a good race.
It's definitely good. I would, to be honest, I wanted to put that in my top 10. It's a bit of another spoiler here, really. The only reason I didn't put that in my top 10 was I don't feel I've played it enough to have a good opinion on it.
Hopefully I've done it justice.
Yeah, I thought you did. I agreed with all what you said. It's a beautiful looking game. And I do agree with you. I think the handling at times can be a bit. Wasn't expecting that kind of thing. But that said, it's a great game. It's unfortunate it's so much money, like you said. So you've got to buy a repro, just like I do the same.
Expensive. It's a
Yeah,
very, very expensive game there.
But if you if you're in the market for a repro, I'd say it's a must buy.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I've been loving. I've been playing that so much of late.
Yeah, I wished I knew about that back in the day. To be honest, it passed me by, 20 years ago or whatever. I
Yeah,
wished I'd known about it then.
it did me as well. Didn't even know about it. It's only when I saw. I can't remember what I saw. It was they were talking about like the Sega Saturn racing games, and that sort of came up, and I said that looks pretty decent. And then I
Yeah,
think you mentioned it in your video. I think you bought the repo of it.
I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
And then I think I must have asked you, what your thoughts of the game was, and you said, "Get it, mate, get it."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's cracking game. It blew me away. Having took 20 years to find out about it. You thought you'd have known about it at the time. It's that good, But yeah, it's a cracker. Right, number 3. We're getting really to the high spots now.
We really are. We really are.
Now, this is kind of similar to the previous one in my list, in the fact that it's an old arcade game, and we've got Power Drift.
Oh yes.
An absolute stunning game for me. Just love it. It's still, to this day, still looks amazing. And again, it's another fantastic conversion on the Saturn, much like Chase HQ. That had never been ported to anything, I don't think. Well, aside from home computers, it had never come out on a console, to my knowledge, before it came out on the Saturn. So the only way to play it at home was on like the Spectrum or the Commodore, whatever.
Did it come out then?
Yeah, it definitely on the Spectrum and Commodore. I don't know about the 16-bit computers. I never had it on them, I don't think. But it was decent on the Spectrum, as I remember, and I think I played it on the C64, and it was decent.
Oh, cool. I have to look them up.
Obviously pared back quite a lot to the arcade.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So when it came out on the Saturn, that was just like Chase HQ. It was like the arcade machine was in your house. It's just stunning. And I mean, back in the day, when I used to go on holiday and play in the arcades, Power Drift was one of the ones I used to put my 10p's in. Absolutely loved it. And it's just stunning, and it's still stunning today. The graphics are so nice. Like you say, it's another one of the like classic Sega superscalers. It's just a shame we didn't get more of them, really. There's loads of them that could have bought out on that Sega Ages label, which that's part of.
Yeah, Sega missed a trick there.
Yeah, we could have had Enduro Racer, Outrunners, Thunderblade, loads of them. But yeah, Power Drift, absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it's now quite pricey like Chase HQ, but whatever way you can play it, I strongly suggest that's definitely a must buy. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's on my list for. It's on my list for a reproduction.
Yeah, it's kind of a kart racer, really. That's essentially what it is. But it's not like a kart racer like Mario Kart. There's no weapons. It's just pure racing, and it's pure arcade. And the courses are like roller coasters. They're up in the air. Vertical.
No, they do like loop to loop, don't they?
Yeah, it's just mega. It's a fantastic game, honestly. And there's a different sort of characters you can choose at the start. You pick your driver, and then you get each driver's got their own kind of kart. Honestly, it's brilliant.
Definitely a game I need to pick up.
Yeah, honestly, it's stunning, mate. I can't say enough about that. It's brilliant.
Brilliant. So my number 3, GT24.
And my number 3, Power Drift.
What did Dad say? Loved Outrun and Power Drift on Saturn. Sublime 80s arcade fun. Damn right, mate. Damn
Spot
right,
on, Des.
indeed.
Spot on.
Well, we're getting to. Dad's sort of. You turned up a bit late, mate. So we decided to take Sega Rally out because pretty much everyone will have this as their top racer on the Saturn. So we thought it was a bit unfair to the other games. So I mean, as you turn up late, that's if you think, why didn't they pick Sega Rally? We decided to take it out.
That's the reason, yeah.
Because it is unfair. It is unfair. It is, for me and yourself, James, it is the best game on the Saturn, isn't it?
Without doubt, yeah. It's a stunner.
So these two games were so difficult because I've got so much time and love for both these games. It was really difficult to pick which one was going to be 1 and 2. And in the end, I had to pick of how much fun I used to have with 2 players. And this one, unfortunately, was only a single player game. Now, you already mentioned it earlier on, mate. I think it was your number 7 pick, I think.
Right.
And that did have 2 players. But unfortunately, the first one, it did get a bad rap. And that is the legendary Daytona USA.
Awesome.
Now, when I first got my Sega Saturn, I got this Sega Rally and Virtua Fighter 2 in the triple pack.
Wow.
That I got for Christmas. And I mean, what a Christmas it was. I literally stayed in my room.
Best Christmas ever, I'd say.
I mean, it was a fucking good one, mate. And Daytona was probably my most played game. I actually preferred this to Sega Rally for a lot of years, which is ridiculous, really. It's only because I just used to be so shit at Sega Rallies. It's a game you have to put time and effort in it to get really, really good, but then you really realise how good that game is.
Yeah, yeah.
Where this is just sort of pick up and play. You don't really have to be that great at it to enjoy it. I mean, you've got 40 on the first track. You've got like 40 cars.
That's right.
On the screen, it is just insane.
Yeah,
and the track design is brilliant. All the stuff, is it the third track where you got the rocket taking off? It's so much sights to see in this game as well. What makes it so brilliant, and then you got the music, which is just
stunning. Yeah.
Which is some of the greatest music on any game, other than Sonic R, which is my number 1. No.
I'm leaving if that's number 1.
Sorry about that. But yeah, this game is just so much fun. It really is. Got a bad rap, but really, you take the graphics away, this game is just one hell of a playable game. It really is.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
So that's Daytona is my number 2.
Right, well, my number 2, this is the first time it's happened, mate.
Yay!
Is Daytona. There's not much more to say, really. You've said it all. It's a stunning game. Yes, it did get a bad rap. It looks a bit rough, you could argue. But at the time, that didn't even bother me. It just plays amazing. It plays just like the arcade machine.
It was the arcade in your home, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was definitely. The way it played, it was like playing the arcade, and no two ways about it. It's a stunning game to play. Yes, it does look a bit rough, but once you start playing it, those kind of thoughts, that goes out your head. Totally goes out your head. When you're playing it, you could be sitting in front of the arcade machine because it's just the same to play. It's absolutely stunning.
When you play it, you just immerse yourself in it.
Yeah.
Because you're hearing the music, you've got all them cars that you're trying to chase down. It's just, you lose yourself. You don't care about the what's it called? When all the pop-ups coming to you. You forget it all. And it's just, you just have fun.
Yeah, you're just in the zone, you're playing it, and like you say, that first track with 40 cars, and it zooms along at a, cracking lick. It's just awesome. And again, much like some of the others in this list, it's one of the cheapest games you can buy on the Saturn. It's absolutely a must-buy.
£8, something like that. £8,
yeah.
Is it?
It's
whether it's power
so cheap.
or Japanese. It's just you got a Saturn. You need that. You need that in your list straight
Yeah,
away.
without doubt. It's the first game you should buy because for the money. Well, and Sega Rally. They're both dirt cheap and they're both arguably the best two games on the system.
Yeah, I could disagree any more with you, James.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And like you say, the cheesy dialogue and the sound effects, it's just a massive like perfection. It's just awesome.
Cheers, Daz. Yeah, you're totally right there, James, and you, Daz. Despite its choppy graphics, it is just literally fantastic.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
And yeah, Daytona USA on
Yeah,
the
he's
Xbox
right.
360. It's just it's just incredible.
Yeah,
really.
he's right there. Yeah, that is stunning.
Whether it's 360 or PlayStation 3, it don't matter what you play on it. You're just going to get an incredible experience.
They're both the same. I've recently got the 360 one to run, so yeah, stunning.
James, we're down to number one.
Yes.
So yeah, number
What's
two.
it going to be?
Both of us, Daytona USA.
Obviously, we're both intelligent men and we both think along the same lines.
Yeah, well, you can tell that we really love our Sega races, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just keen to see what your number one is now.
So my number one is me and my brother absolutely love playing this game. There's a lot of different modes on this. Graphics, it's one of the best. It's sort of 2D, pseudo 3D with like sprites and that is pretty great stuff. This game is incredible. I mean, this is an original game as well from, as you can tell, Woolworths.
Nice.
This was £45 back in the day. I think I got this with Daytona, not Daytona, Destruction Derby and Formula One.
Right.
I think it was for a birthday or something. And yeah, this game has got so many different options. I mean, the Battle Royal mode is just brilliant. Have you played this, James?
Well, up until very recently, I hadn't. When you mentioned how good you thought it was, I bought it only a few weeks ago, and I have to agree, it is really good. But again, similar to the GT24, I didn't put it in mind purely because I hadn't played it enough to give a good opinion on it.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, this. I mean, it's not. I'm not saying this is as good as Mario Kart because it's not. But
yeah,
for the Saturn, this is the best you could get.
It's a nice looking game, though, isn't it?
Oh, it is. And this is the de facto version as well, because this was released on the Mega Drive, which I wouldn't even bother about the Mega Drive version. I thought that was terrible. SNES was really good, and the PlayStation wasn't too bad, but this game blows him out the water. True transparent effects on it. You've got the clouds that follow you around in the actual track. The track layout design is just fantastic. I mean, because they're small tracks, it's just so much destruction and chaos goes on. It's really hard to get first on every single track. I mean, you've got a good championship mode, and then obviously you got your battle royal mode, which is just amazing. Where all the walls start to go down, and you literally got this arena that you can just knock everyone out. It's just so many hours of fun trying to complete this game. It really is fantastic. I absolutely love that game. I can play it so much, especially with friends. I mean, I think you can have up to 8 players as well.
Oh, wow, really?
With the multi-pack. So yeah, you can just imagine the chaos.
Oh god, yeah.
With that game. if I had that many mates, I would love to play.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the one thing that struck me. What you just said there, that when I bought it and tried it, I couldn't believe how small the tracks were. And you're always on top of somebody, and like you say, you're never running away with the race.
No, you're not. No, that's what I love about the game. It's like really, it's quite difficult to get a first because you think you're just about to have it, and someone will put that bomb on you, you know, the
That's
little
right.
timer away, and that's it. You're fucked. You know,
That's it.
you
You're
end up
first to
paying.
last. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no, but yeah, really nice looking game. It really surprised me how good it looks.
Oh, but it's so much fun, so much nostalgia for that game. Oh,
That's great.
I'm
You've got
looking forward. I'm looking forward to this, James. What your number one is, mate?
well, you've already shown it on your list.
Oh, have I?
Yeah, I forgot what number it was. It was, I don't know, 5 or 6, I think it was. It's going to come to no surprise to Daz what this is going
Yeah,
to
of
be.
course, yeah. Yeah, this would have been higher up, actually,
My
yeah.
number one is Outrun.
Definitely the version to get.
It was a no-brainer to me. It's the best game ever made for me, bar none. I love it. So this was always going to be my number one. Again, it had been converted to obviously everything under the sun prior to it coming out on the Saturn, and I'd played it on every system I'd had up to that point. You know, the Speccy and the Commodore and the Amiga and the Master System and the Mega Drive.
Was you
They're all
trying to find? Was you trying to find that perfect one then, where you played it on so many different systems, or was it you just loved that game?
Well, I loved the game, and I was just looking. I'd got to play all the different versions of it that was available to me, but obviously, the version I wanted was the arcade version, and I never got that until that Saturn version came out. Because again, just like Power Drift and Chase HQ, that was the arcade version in your living room. It's by far the best conversion that's ever come out, in my opinion. It's on the Switch again, like Virtua Racing, but the car's not the same. You know, you've got the Testarossa on the Saturn version, which, you know, you haven't got on the Switch version. I know it's only a visual thing, but the Saturn version feels like you're playing the arcade machine, and it's just amazing.
I'm assuming that's due to license on the Switch.
Yeah, it must be, yeah. They haven't got the Ferrari license anymore. But yeah, it's my favourite game of all time. Always will be. I play it regularly. I've been playing it regularly for however long it's been out now, 35, coming up to, it's nearly 40 years.
40 years almost.
Yeah, it's bloody madness, you know. And it's still just as good today.
Released 85, isn't it?
86.
86, oh Jesus, yeah.
Yeah, so 30, yeah, it's mad really. But it's as good today as it was in 1986 for me. It's the perfect game. It looks amazing, it plays amazing, and the soundtrack, it's the best soundtrack ever written for me. Passing Breeze, Splash Wave, and Magical Sound Shower. No greater game music.
They are quality. So as I said, it would have been higher up my list if I had the Japanese version, which runs full 60 frames per second, runs exactly like the arcade. No, actually, is it higher than the arcade?
I think it's higher than the arcade. Yeah.
It's really. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that power version. I mean, you've got two other great games with it, but I don't know if I had the Japanese version, which probably will be a reproduction job because it's getting pricey now.
Yeah. All them three, actually, them arcade versions, they're all like 800 quid these days, unfortunately.
Yeah, but yeah, what a choice, mate. As I said, mine would have been higher up if I had the Japanese version. That silky smooth frame rate and what a game. It's a legendary game. I mean, it's one of the first arcade games that I actually could sit down because it had the car you could sit in.
That's right. Yeah, the hydraulic car. Yeah.
Oh, it just felt incredible. I've never experienced anything like it when I first sat in that car, and I thought, oh bloody hell! Felt like I was actually driving it.
Yeah, it's mega. If I ever won the lottery, I'd buy myself one of those. You know.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't blame you, mate. Yeah,
100%.
Definitely needs to be in a collection.
Oh yeah, I'd love one. Yeah.
So, should we just have a quick rundown?
Yeah, why not?
Oh, don't drop them, James. So, for me, my number 10 Drift King 97.
And my number 10 was Hang On GP 95. Or 96 if you're in the UK.
My number 9, Addressy Racing.
My number 9 was Drift King 97.
Number 8, Classic Road Rash.
And my number 8 was Daytona USA CCE.
Number 7, Destruction Derby.
And number 7 for me was Virtua Racing.
Number 6 would have been higher, Outrun.
And my number 6 is F1 Live Information. Or F1 Challenge if you want the PAL version.
My number 5 is F1.
My number 5 is Manx TT Superbike.
My number 4 is Manx TT Superbike.
My number 4 is Chase HQ.
My number 3 is GT24.
My number 3 is Power Drift.
I really need to add that. Our number 2, should we do this at the same time?
Yeah, do this together. Our number 2
Daytona.
Daytona.
USA.
Awesome.
And my number 1 is Street Racer.
And my number 1 is Outrun.
Saturn has got some quality races in it. It really has got some great races, that machine.
Yeah, absolute stunners. As it's got stunning shooters and fighters and all kinds of stuff, really. It's just an awesome console.
Yeah, we need to do a top 10 fighters, I think, like this.
Yeah, we could do, couldn't we? Yeah, do a fighters one. Yeah, there's plenty of them.
Yeah, I think we should do.
Yeah, let's do a fighters one.
Yeah, why not?
That was good, mate. I enjoyed that.
Good, I'm glad you enjoyed that, mate. It was nice to see your top 10 picks. I mean, a lot sort of very similar plays.
Yeah,
which was quite interesting.
It was quite interesting to see how we both kind of placed our, picks.
I mean, I think some of mine would have probably been the same if I had them. Like, Power Drift probably would have been in there. Obviously, I haven't got that game, so it's a bit unfair to pick that. But yeah, very interesting. Really enjoyed that, mate.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Yeah, great idea of yours there.
Well, thank you. I just wanted to share because I know you love your Saturn. I mean, it's probably one of your favourite consoles, isn't it? Or if not favourite.
Yeah, it's in my top 2. I would say.
So I couldn't think of a better person to share this with. Talking about our top 10 favourite races.
Cheers, mate. Cheers, mate. I'll always be a Sega fanboy.
Damn right, mate. Damn right. Sega lives forever. Well, not at the moment. I don't know what happened.
It lives forever in my head.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, very right. Shadow of their former selves.
They are, but they'll always be kings from the past.
Yeah, I agree with that, mate. Again, James, thank you so much for doing this with me.
No worries, mate. Cheers for inviting me on.
And guys, in the comments, people who comment in, thank you for joining us for our top 10 Sega racers for the Sega Saturn.
Cheers, everyone.
Take it easy, guys.
See you later.